brief but fantastic pastel intro. Most approved and most accommodating for what I've waited so long for. In fact, the whole thing is a car chase between her parents and her little sister Molly. Fun fact, a baby bunny is called a kitten for some reason, and a full-grown female cat is called a Molly. What really stuck out in my impression is how Stu Hops described his paws are sweating. Yeah, I'm quite sure rabbits don't sweat, but it's all there for the effect. So many play on your expectation moments. All that can be expected from an action genre. In regards to action characters getting lucky close calls, there is a fact of when I first saw Zootopia back in March 2016. By mistake, Deadpool played first, which I had already seen, but yes, I was there for Zootopia. All in all, Hop on Board is a car chase love story. Episode 2, The Real Rodents of Rodentia. No, I by far cannot relate to this. I believe it's a parody of a reality show, though I'm not sure which one. The first differentiation that I have compared to the movie is that this is scaled down to their perspective, but the film is primarily that of Judy, so they always look so small because she's always looking down on them. But the way this is set, it allows them to be at full scale so we can see the details. Really do appreciate that, Disney animators. So far, these first 2 episodes take place during the movie, an expansion of perspective of the characters, making Zootopia feel more alive than ever. So yeah, I'd say this is an expanded perspective. I got extremely emotional with this line in particular.
When you're nearly crushed by a giant donut, you get a little perspective on things. I'm sorry, I have to go.
How appropriate, related to how this is on their perspective, making it all look on the same scale as the rest of the movie. This short also ends with a wholesome message.
The difficult thing about family is they know you better than anyone.
And then we get the hand of night howlers and a bouquet. Yes, that was the first sign that things would go wrong. That was one hell of an ending. Didn't come out of nowhere, but makes me fearful of what happens. At least we know Frou-Frou and her baby made it through the movie. Her husband as well. We have yet to find out anything about her colleagues. Yeah, that does really disturb me. It only adds to the dark side of Zootopia, apparent from the very first view. Duke the Musical is the title of Episode 3. Most unexpected, Zootopia is prominently remembered for not being a musical. Let's see where this goes.
See you later, Francine.
Oh, Weaselton, you gotta rethink your life. You're in here so often, it's embarrassing.
But the moment where I laughed out loud...
Apprehended with a giant donut by ZPD's first bunny cop on a... correction, it was a meter maid.
Yeah, well put. Once again, Judy exceeds everyone's expectations. My first question, is this Alan Tudyk singing as well? I certainly hope so. In all honesty, nothing I love more than seeing a character who just feels like a side act, literally there just to fill the plot. As an individual who loves dark humor, I appreciate the surgeon reference with the chainsaw. The moment he has the lowest point, I called it. Led me on, and it gave me exactly what I expected. Now he has a temptation to help her or take the winnings he's always desired. This is deep, and I do appreciate going full bound motif of a character who only had a few moments in the movie. In the end, temptation won. Do you have any idea how disappointed I was when Freaky Friday the 13th was changed and reduced just to Freaky? As of now, that satisfaction has been overhauled. Episode 4 is called Godfather of the Bride. 2 films I've never seen. I couldn't care less. Zootopia is priority. I can't be alone here. Who else is getting the exact same vibes as Don Bluth gave in American Tail from the 1980s? Big impression is how Mr. Biggs had such a humble beginning as a migrator. The wholesomeness, especially from what his grandmama brings out, saying it's the size of your heart that matters. So much empathy, and even the aesthetic of making everything look ancient, dull, like that of a photograph of the period, really adds to the aesthetic.
There's no place for vermin like you in this city.
Perfect metaphor. City is no place for vermin like you. This episode hits hard. Best description, brilliant backstory. You see how they contributed to Zootopia into the thriving metropolis that it is. Even when Mr. Biggs put on the persona that he established in the first movie, this shows his cause and what he stood up for, and how important he is, and how Zootopia is thankful for his inclusion. From the perspective of arguably the most lovable character in the movie, Clawhauser is on his way as the fanboy he is, trying to become the backup dancer for Gazelle. I surely hope this works out. Okay, hearing Idris Elba's brilliant voice responding to quote-unquote backup from Clawhauser, this works out. Partner in police force. I didn't think of this before, but Clawhauser and Bogo are almost polar opposites. And I'm not referring to herbivore and carnivore. It's the fact that Clawhauser is this lovable, energetic cheetah. Bogo is a serious, no-nonsense water buffalo and chief of police. Unexpected. Clawhauser elaborated saying Bogo was shy. Then Bogo confirms it by saying, "Who knew putting yourself out there could feel so good?" Huh, he absolutely is shy. This episode again confirms that it takes place within the runtime of Zootopia. Although we know more about Clawhauser, perhaps Chief Bogo truly is shy and puts on his own facade just to look tough, especially amongst other carnivores. But still, perfect contrast between him and Clawhauser. Episode 6 takes a turn from the previous episodes. We have yet another fan of Gazelle, except this character was not featured in the original movie. She's totally new. Perhaps she's of relation to Mr. and Mrs. Otterton. We did see their children displayed in the movie, but Sam is indeed an adult. The concept of this episode fits the absolute definition of ridiculous. She's in a hurry for the same Gazelle concert at the end of the movie, with only a half hour to spare, with both Flash and Priscilla functioning in the only way they can. The title's fitting though, Dinner Rush. In my personal experience, I could never be a server. I cannot pretend to be nice, nor hold in all of that pressure. I really empathize with her here at the very least, so it is relatable. Lactose intolerant sloths. Yeah, I suppose that works. I've never studied that in other mammals before. I can see a lot of reflection of Sam in Judy at the beginning of Zootopia, trying to do the best she can as a meter maid. In fact, it's so similar to the DMV where Flash is introduced. But every amount of pressure that escalates from her own lack of ability to comprehend the situation. Now I know more than ever about the film, as nothing here was meant to follow Zootopia, but rather to expand on Zootopia. I have multiple videos within this channel, Zootopia related as well as Bionicle. Be ready each Saturday evening for the newest uploads right here on Rated Exploited.